Welcome back to Investing with Confidence, sponsored by Online Trading Academy. I am your host, Joshua David, and we are having a great time talking about the stock market with our good friends right here in Denver, Colorado, Bloomington, Minnesota, and Atlanta, Georgia. If you're living in one of these locations, we have physical investing classes where we teach people the skills and techniques and what it takes to get in these markets and how to do that with confidence. You can text the word right now, text the word INVEST to the number 484848. That's text INVEST to 484848 for 2 tickets for these investing classes. Also, a financial quick start kit that will help you get started right away. And Al was talking about in that last segment about using income strategies and income assets for that opportunity to combat inflation. And we talked about more of the income strategies on that last section. Let's get into more of these wealth strategies, 401ks, IRAs, and how to make smart investing decisions there. Because as I mentioned at the end of the last segment, is we're seeing there's a down market. Markets are down this year. We talked about last week that in 2021, I think it was 57% of people that had retirement accounts lost over 10%
Correct.
in a bull market.
Right.
Think about what's happening to people right now in their retirement accounts. Well, don't be complacent. Don't just let your accounts go down. Learn the skills and techniques. Learn what they are today to make better investing decisions there. Al, let's talk about those investing decisions. How do people take charge in their retirement accounts and make better investing decisions there as markets are turning over and they're starting to go down?
Yeah, number one, I think, is understanding what you have in a retirement account. If you have a 401k or 403b, do you know what's in it? Do you know what the opportunities are for you? One of the things that we talk about in our classes is what we call dynamic 401k management. How can you get potentially better returns from your portfolio? How can you maybe protect yourself if we go through a recession or these high inflationary periods? There are choices that you have within those accounts that may be better suited to a particular economic situation. And in the classes, we talk about how you can maybe take better control of that. The other thing is that most of our students and most people just in general have been conditioned to believe that these 401ks are just the answer to everything. You should put as much money into them as possible, even after a match or potential match has been met. The match is the best part of a 401k. That's free money. But if you're putting additional money in, maybe there's another option for you, another choice. What most of our students do is instead of putting money in past where that match has been met, is to set up a self-directed IRA. Why would you want to do that? Well, one of the drawdowns to employer-sponsored plans or anything really that's managed for you are the fees. If fees are being taken out, that's money that's being not only dollars that are taken away from you, but dollars that are no longer there compounding and growing for you. If you set up a self-directed IRA, there are no fees. So, and you also have many choices which are not available in your employer-sponsored plan. Those choices give you the opportunity to participate in all 3 market directions. In almost all 401ks or 403bs, the only way you're going to benefit is if the market goes up. And that's the only time you have the potential to benefit. There's no guarantee you will. But in a self-directed IRA, you have the potential to benefit in all 3 directions. We know the market doesn't just always go up, although a lot of people felt for many years that it would continue. I think I talked about recency before, about how people look just at what's happened in the last year or two. They assume that that's going to happen going forward. I can tell you, almost everybody that's out there that has been in the market for a period of time that has experience is looking at the next few years as being much different. The return's much lower, maybe even negative, but certainly not the kinds of returns that people have gotten used to. And I think that's one of the concerns that we have with people in retirement. Some people with retirement plans have done well over the last 2 years and may think that they're going to continue to get those kinds of returns, so they're reluctant to look at other assets. In a self-directed IRA, you have access to other than just stock, and you can do mutual funds if you want to. Certainly you can do stock, but you also have access to options, futures, and Forex in those self-directed accounts. That gives you the opportunity to benefit in an up market, with the potential to do that, in a down market with the potential, and even in a sideways market. There are great strategies, primarily with options, to bring premium in, have that potential when the market is even flat or sideways. You can use these assets as protection because the money that you have worked 30, 40 years for that you hope will get you through retirement, you have to make sure it stays with you. If you retire, and the year you retire, the year after you retire, we go into a bear market where, as in 2008, the market was down 57%, the S&P 500. Would that impact you if you had a portfolio that basically went down 20 to 60%? Obviously, the answer is yes. You can't let that happen, so you want to make sure that you're protected. And there are strategies and assets we show you how to use that will do that.
Yeah, the key is protecting those retirement accounts. I mean, if you have a 401k or an IRA, well, why not take a couple hours to learn what those strategies are, learn what those techniques are, and then see what it takes to apply them to those accounts. I mean, it's not rocket science. You just haven't been taught yet. And Al, you teach these classes. We have classes actually locally right here in Denver, Colorado, Bloomington, Minnesota, and Atlanta, Georgia. Mm-hmm. And these are designed to teach you to make better investing decisions. So text the word invest right now. That's text the word invest to the number 484848 for 2 tickets for this investing class to get started with those retirement accounts and learn the skills and techniques to protect those, but also keep the opportunity no matter which way this market goes. Great opportunities. You have to learn how to do that today. Text the word invest to the number 484848. So, Al, we talk a lot about 401ks and IRAs and every single week, but a lot of our listeners, I think, are probably like, well, why would I take charge in that? Why would I self-direct that myself when I can pay somebody to do that for me? Think about that for a second. If you're paying somebody to put you in mediocre funds at that, mm-hmm. and you have mediocre returns, where's the benefit? Right? So self-directing is so important in retirement accounts. So in these investing classes, Al, what can people expect to learn about 401ks and IRAs?
Well, again, how to take advantage of what you have available to you within those accounts, how to use our core strategy to better understand maybe when you want to rotate out of one type of an asset into something else. Maybe they're all stocks, but there are going to be different components of the stock market that might be outperforming. Again, during these inflationary periods or recessionary periods, then maybe you want to look at companies that have low debt, good cash flow, strong balance sheets. Typically, people have been making money, and the indexes have grown with kind of the opposite, highly leveraged companies, speculative companies. Well, maybe this is not the time to leave your money in those assets. You have access, in almost every case, you have access to different components of that market, of the stock market, that you can participate in. The core strategy can help you identify which ones might be moving into an area where there are buyers, which ones might be moving into areas where there are sellers.
Real quick, in about 30 seconds, what type of people what type of accounts do people have that are coming to these investing classes?
Well, again, it's everything from no accounts to accounts that have millions of dollars in them. And the interesting thing is what we do is look at everybody as an individual. We're very unique in the way that we can do this because regardless of where you are, what you have, where you want to be, we can structure a plan and an education path that will help you get from where you are to where you want to be.
Yeah, that's key there. I'm glad you brought that up, is structure a plan. If you don't have a plan for your retirements, say you're 40 or 50 or even 60 right now and you haven't created that plan for those golden years, well, I'll tell you what, now is probably that day. It's not tomorrow. It's not next week or when things slow down. Now is the best time to do that because of the great opportunities we're seeing out.
Right.
The stock market is moving really good. A lot of people think, well, it's going down. Yes, down is a good direction if you have those skills and techniques to have the opportunity to benefit from that. There's a possible return as markets go down. You talk about that in these investing classes. They're 2 hours right here in Denver, Bloomington, and Atlanta. So if you're living in any of these locations, we have physical classes to teach you those skills, how to get started in these markets with your 401ks and IRAs. Get your phone ready. I'm going to give away some tickets for this investing class that includes a financial quick start kit that will help you get started right away. So call now. Call 888-682 888-682-6466. That's 888-682-6466. When we answer, we'll get you some dates that might work on your schedule. Like I said, we have these on the weekdays, on the weekend, in the mornings, the afternoons, and the evenings. So pretty much anybody can attend with any type of schedule. Al, coming up next, let's get into, I guess we haven't talked about the life of a trader for a while. So I want to give a kind of a visual on what that actually looks like. It might be a little bit different than what you've seen in the movies with smoking cigars and drinking scotch. Even though we're not smoking cigars and drinking scotch today, we are having a good time talking about the stock market. If you want tickets for that investing class, you can also text the word invest to the number 484848. We'll get you a call right away to make sure we find a date that works for you. Also, we'll send you a text with a link to do it yourself. This is Josh and Al, Investing with Confidence. We'll be right back.